What's going on, guys? Another knife review here for you. This is of the VECP, Les George VECP fixed blade. Les George uses a 3V blade steel on his fixed blades, while the VECP folder uses CTS XHP. This is the Monkey Edge exclusive, the DLC PVD coated version with the olive drab handles that come or that you can get at Monkey Edge. So basically, I got this deal maybe a week or so back from the USN, which is just the best knife form out there. Some guy was selling these as a pair for a pretty good deal, and I snagged it immediately. So I jumped at the opportunity to get another VECP in my collection, but to get a fixed blade, I was definitely intrigued by that. For those of you guys that have been following my channel, you guys know that the only other fixed blade that I have in my collection is this custom Dwayne Dwyer Strider, I guess what they call the Mini TC, Mini Tom Clark. This is a fighting fixed blade. This is 3V blade steel as well, with Dwayne Dwyer's just really cool razor wire pattern with this Warncliffe blade style. And as a fighting blade, I can imagine would be it'd be an awesome blade. But it's got this really small handle, and while it's kind of like bulbous, kind of like a griptilian, and it really kind of just fills up your hand, but it doesn't offer for much, in the way, I don't know, maybe in the way of grip, just because it's more of it feels like a 3-finger grip, 3.5 kind of finger grip, and so I don't know. While I can grip it pretty well, and it's rounded, it's pretty thick handle and all that kind of stuff, just in my opinion, doesn't feel quite so secure. Awesome, as a looker for sure. It's a great looking knife, but when the opportunity to get another 3V fixed blade steel knife, especially with the reputation of a VCP with this black DLC PVD coating, I was like, as a user, around the house and in the backyard and all that kind of stuff, with the reputation of 3V, it seemed like this would be just an awesome option, as a great user. Here in California, we're not allowed to use, or not allowed to carry fixed blades concealed. So, even with this sheath here, I wouldn't be able to, stick this in my neck, or anything like that, or have this hidden anywhere on my body. So, I think that was one thing that deterred me from getting fixed blades. But after handling this, Mini TC, I was kind of, a little thrown for a loop, just in terms of the feel and the utility of a fixed blade. So again, I just wanted to jump at this opportunity. I love carrying this VCP folder on me. Just an awesome folder in general, as a utility knife, blade shape, just comfort level of this handle. It's hard to beat, honestly. I know that there's a lot of Les George fanboys, and I'm probably sounding like one right now, but to be honest, the other Les George that I have, right here, it's a version 1, and I've never carried it because I didn't want to screw up the titanium and all that kind of stuff. I mean, if you look at this one, it's pristine. The sandblast and everything is perfect on here. There's not a single mark on this blade. Detent is extremely strong and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of have this one in my collection and have never used it. It's never cut anything at all. So my experience with that VECP was pretty limited. It was basically based on my impressions and all that kind of stuff, just overall comfort level. Now having this user in my collection, as a user, it kind of changed my entire perspective. I mean, I knew it was an awesome blade, but I mean, this I was gonna just review it later on, but I might as well just do it here. You know, as a user, you know, in my pocket all the time, it's a great knife. So going to the fixed blade, it only made sense, you know, that this would also make for a great knife. With the monkey edge grips, you know, it does really fill out your hand. I kind of wish that the grips would come out a little bit further, you know, past this choil, so that you can have a better grip and then have the choil in place. So, but you know, it's not too big of a deal. The only thing is with the choil right here, if you compare, you know, how much thickness you get on this choil on the folder versus the fixed blade, I can kind of just imagine that it would be a little more uncomfortable doing hard work, you know, because your fingers are just the pressure. You know, again, when you think about pressure per square inch, you know, when you're holding on to this thin area of the fixed tang of the blade, you know, versus that area or that pressure being distributed across a much wider area here, you know, this is going to make for a much more comfortable user. So, but you know, if you're chopping and all that kind of stuff, I don't think it necessarily matters on a fixed blade. Any kind of fine work and all that kind of stuff, this works perfectly. You know, your three fingers grip around the monkey edge grips, and then your index finger in the choil, and then your thumb can kind of just manipulate around on this jimping or over the jimping for any precision cutting. I sharpened this up on my wicked edge, and it's just blazing ridiculous sharp right now. Just crazy, amazingly sharp. So 3V definitely takes a very nice edge, extremely sharp edge, and from what I've been reading and hearing, it really holds up extremely well. I haven't beat this knife yet. I'm trying to find out what I want to do in the yard and all that kind of stuff, but you know, overall comfort level as a user and all that kind of stuff, it definitely feels great for sure. So when you do a quick size comparison, you do see that it's much smaller than a VCP. VCP being 3.5 inches. You know, the blade length or usable blade cutting length, you know, is 3 inches on the fixed blade, and then overall length is also smaller than the folder. So yeah, it's kind of like, you know, if you can get the, granted this is much cheaper than the folder for sure. I mean, you're talking about materials and titanium and all that kind of stuff. Even though the blade steel, I think 3V is probably more sought after than XHP. If you're talking about, you know, carrying it, I mean, I would, even if this was legal to carry a fixed blade in California, I mean, I would still always go with the folder, because carrying wise, you know, it's gonna sit in your pocket or, you know, be on your person much more comfortable. You know, it's gonna sit much more comfortably than, you know, a fixed blade. A fixed blade, you're always stuck with this length. You know, here's the stupid, not stupid, but cold steel spike. It's kind of, yeah, it's just a glorified ice pick basically. But you know, you're always stuck with this length. You know, this TC is at least a little bit smaller, and it's meant to be, you know, this is meant to be concealable, you know, behind your back. So you kind of grip it from, you know, behind your back, and you pull it out, and then you have it in a fighting grip already. But as a fixed blade, you know, again, you're always stuck with the full length of the blade, you know, versus a folding knife, which is going to fold smaller, and then you have a larger blade overall when it's opened and using. Of course, you know, when you're talking about blade stoutness and all that kind of stuff, you know, you can't beat having one full tang, you know, one full just blade stock from handle to the tip and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, there's your strength of the fixed blade. When you do compare the blade thickness, I believe they're the same blade stock. Actually, I'm not sure about that. Let me look that up really quick. I can't really get access to that right now, but I think the blade stock, oh no, the fixed blade is definitely much thicker at 0.180 inches of 3V. So yeah, blade stock is much thicker, so you know you have a no blade play. Blade stock is crazy on this, and it's kind of goes further all the way to the tip than it does on the folding VECP. So much more stout. Excellent. Would make an excellent pry bar. You know, being that it's 3V steel and how tough it is. All right, so anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about this knife. I really had to put it to more use to get a better take of what this blade is capable of. But again, at 0.18 inches of 3V steel, it's hard to beat for sure. It's got this huge lanyard hole, which is also a great thing to have on a fixed blade. So if you are doing any kind of chopping work or anything like that, have that security of the lanyard over your wrist. My only other knife with 3V steel outside of the Mini TC is my Daliber. So this as well, is just a huge folding knife. You get much more cutting length, you get much more reach and all that kind of stuff. I would have no qualms about using this Daliber as a chopper for sure. So yeah, but say what you will, this fixed blade I'm really happy to have in my collection, and I definitely plan on putting it into good use around the house and all that kind of stuff. So right now I always have it on my bag, so I always have it on my person in case I need a fixed blade on me, kind of as a survival gear, not a getaway bag or anything like that, but yeah, as an emergency I have this one in my bag. I also have my Benchmade 810 Contigo with the M4 blade steel. So if I'm in a humid place, then I'm kind of out of luck with rust and all that kind of stuff, but at least I'll have some really strong and edge retaining blades in my possession. Alright, so anyway, that's all I had to say about the Les George VECP fixed blade. Just an awesome option as a fixed blade in my opinion, which I don't know how much that's worth in terms of fixed blade, since my usage is pretty limited. So anyway, thanks guys for watching. Let me know what you think in your comments down below. You guys take care, and I'll see you guys on the next vid. Bye.